poor craftsman blames his tools.
You would be correct. I never said I was not a poor craftsman.
I said,
Yes.
All right, guys.
I didn't study. I'm not ready.
I mean, that's on you?
I mean, I guess.
All I know is I'm with Vivian for like 2 days. That's it. That's all
That
I
is something we
remember.
were going to be tackling today, yes.
I was gonna say that's all I remember because none of the else is. All I know is I'm not going anywhere.
All right. I will give you guys the link. I keep forgetting that that's something I have to give you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Micah's not here. I'll just try to click on the one from last week.
I just realized what chat this was too.
The most important one.
Yeah.
what?
What?
I heard my name.
Don't worry about
No.
it. I would like to take.
I don't know.
All right.
Brandon, maybe sent me a link.
I did.
Discord. Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I'm
Unacceptable,
sorry.
Will. Hey, did your guys' information save this time?
Nope, it did not.
You have okay, so yeah, I just figured out I think what to do. What you have to do.
Perfect.
You have to exit out and go to like the character screen and then save it there, and then it'll be.
Interesting. I don't like that
saved.
that's required.
I think this just saves in the session, but that saves your character overall.
I don't even remember what any of my stunts were.
I have it all recorded, so don't worry about it way too much right now. Oh shit. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it right now. We can tackle it later.
Don't say there.
Hunters are there. Why are hunters there?
They are?
Yeah, mine
Yep.
are.
Or stunts, yeah.
And the fact you swap fight for academics is saved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is mine's not? I switched something for something. Shoot for reporter.
I don't know what to tell you right now. We can, like I said, I do have it recorded, so we can pull it back up. I don't think it's going to be super pertinent today, but we'll see.
Okay.
Depends on
Okay.
how long you guys take to work with your friends here. So let's add 1, 2, 3. The lovely Uther,
Uther.
the amazing Blanche,
Blanche.
and the sneaky. What
Shit,
was her
I've
name?
had so much physical stress.
Shit, what was her name? Vivian, that's what it was.
Unbelievable. My girl Vivian.
Maddie.
See, we're two peas in a pod. Wallflowers.
I am a baddie.
Man, I've been having to
like
deal with changing and writing so many names and stuff. You gotta cut me some slack.
I'd like to make a roll before we get started.
Okay.
On
Fuck
how
no.
much I know about the King Arthur legend, because I don't think any of us have done that.
Good idea.
Like how much you know of the traditional King Arthur of legend?
Yeah.
All right. If everybody wants to go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Everyone?
Or sorry, not investigation. Lore.
I was gonna say, can I use a lore roll, please?
Sorry,
'Cause,
lore
I
is the
only have a
correct
I got
one.
2.
Hey, I got a 4.
Oh, I got a total of 0.
Oof.
I got a big negative
Oh, wait, no.
4. Just kidding, I got 2.
I got a total of 1.
So what I need to know, what's everybody's
I
net
have a-
knowledge?
2.
3.
Wait, net?
Yeah, what's after? So this number plus whatever your lore is.
2.
I accidentally re-rolled, but mine was a -1.
Okay.
So I got a 1. I got a 1.
Pockets was a 1. What'd you say yours was, Hunter?
3.
3.
Trace.
And then what was Scotch's?
2.
And Red, you said yours was a 3?
Was a 4.
Oh, good God.
Yeah,
So
he's got a 3 for lore.
you know a substantial amount. You remember quite a bit about reading King Arthur, and Smash isn't very far behind. Scotch, you kind of remember King Arthur was a thing, and Pockets, you're like, yeah, King Arthur, Sword and Stone. They made the Disney movie thing about it, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen the animated movie many times.
Did they change the categories for Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch or something?
They may have changed the picture. Why? Did something look
When I'm
weird?
searching for Dungeons and Dragons, it's not coming up anymore.
Oh, it's definitely still there. It's Dungeons & Dragons. That might be part of why.
Nope, I'm getting Dungeons and Dragons Online, Dungeons and Dragons Tower of Doom.
Doom.
There it is. I don't know what the
Okay.
fuck it was struggling for, but
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's still there, considering I'm still under it. All right.
oh, slobs. It's weird.
Okay, let's do this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Pose.
Awesome, possum. So last we left off, I know that Red was trying to actually talk with Pockets towards the end of the night before they ended up going to sleep. Rather than completely cutting that entire conversation off, we knew that Pockets was not feeling so. Oh, hey, you lost your point. That's weird. We knew that Pockets was not feeling so trustworthy, as she's been backstabbed multiple times. But maybe Red might be able to push a little bit and try to get some more information out of her.
I mean, wait, are we still at night? Or are we still?
This would still be right the night before, unless you want to wait until the next morning to ask her again.
Oh yeah, I'd rather like wait until next morning and just like
I was
so I
gonna
have a
say,
chance in game
my-
or to make notes.
My guard is up.
All right, that seems fair. That seems fair. So then we're going to go ahead and pass on to the next day, where you guys are actually going to start working with all of your different buddies, Uther, Blanche, and Vivian. So who is going where for the first day?
Vivian.
I'm going somewhere.
Will and I were going to, Will and I were going to see Uther.
I think we're seeing Uther both days.
Yeah.
So for today, it is
I'm seeing
Smash and Scotch.
Blanche.
And you're with Blanche today, you said, Red?
Yes.
And you're with Vivian today, you said, Pockets.
Yep. I'm with Vivian both days.
I
Awesome.
love how none of us use our names. Like that's kind of just strange.
Packets.
Yeah.
Nah.
Heck,
Names are overrated, right, guys?
Yeah, we're friends. We can use nicknames.
Quincy Reginald the
That's my
Third.
nickname.
Are we friends? I don't know if I got that vibe from people.
I was gonna say I'm
Whoop.
definitely not.
So
I'm friends with everyone.
you guys wake up and meet in the kind of the opening area in the front of the castle before you end up all leaving to each individual person you're going to be spending time with and working with in the day. Is there any discussion that you guys need to be going through before you start working, or what's up?
What are you guys gonna have for breakfast?
Love it.
I guess fuck
probably-
me, right? Nobody wants to talk to me. Gosh, I guess. Fuck, never mind. Yeah, I'll just go fucking see Uther and I storm
Well,
off.
no, the
World's
only
least
thing that
popular
we're really
Is there a
worried about.
breakfast?
I was gonna say I'll eat later, but the only thing we're really worried about is what we can get Blanche to help Red with. Hopefully, convincing him into doing something for us the next day when none of us are there. So,
True.
do we what do we know about her? Because I went to Uther, and I don't. Well, I'm assuming it's a her. I don't know what she's like. Do we know how to convince them, or are we just kind of going in dark on that?
I don't
I
know.
deleted the wrong stun.
I'm assuming you're asking each other in character,
Yeah,
not me.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just likes messing with things. I mean,
I feel like she's an adventurous person, where if you give her something to do, she'll want to see it through to the end. So if we get her started on something, maybe she'll finish it for us, even if we're not necessarily there to help her. Maybe. I don't know.
see,
All we
my
can do is
issue
try. If it only gets
just-
partially done, then that's, I guess, what happens. But
See, my issue is we don't know what technology is like, I guess, available. Like how advanced or unadvanced they are in terms of things. So it's really going to be hard, in my personal opinion, to build, like, or have an idea, I guess, if that makes sense.
True. Yeah.
Like, she's going to want something new, but I don't know how much of something new we can provide if we don't know the area.
Yeah, or aren't there for day 2. So I just think overall for day 1, I think that's going to be the most important part, and then everything else can just kind of fall into place, hopefully, and not hit too many speed bumps.
Yeah. Well, unless you guys want some breakfast, I think I'm gonna.
Head out.
I wanted to have breakfast, but nobody wanted to have breakfast with me, so.
No, I don't typically eat breakfast. I'm not much of a morning person.
It's how I get my gossip, you know? I gotta have breakfast, people. That's how you get the good gossip, so.
Gotta get that hot
Breakfast,
goss.
coffee,
I don't gossip.
hot coffee, that tea.
Okay, well, information is valuable, so, just saying.
And with that, I walk off towards Vivian.
Alrighty.
Alright. See you later, Pockets! I'm gonna give Dr. Smash here a little pat on the back and say, you want to head out?
Yep.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, I guess Pockets is heading my way, so I'll head out too.
Pockets is not heading
go.
your way. What?
Yeah, because isn't Blanche at the top of the tower and Vivian's at the top and Blanche is at the bottom, right?
Yeah, Blanche is in the basement.
So you would be heading the opposite directions, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, until we get to the stairs, we'd be heading the same direction, right?
Oh, okay. That's fair.
That's what I meant. Yeah, sorry.
I was like, those are not on the same floor. Hold up. Did I miss
God,
something?
no.
All right.
Transmutate.
All right. So first, we're gonna go ahead and stop on by with Uther and Smash and Scotch. Hop on into his area, and you just see him hauling crates, and he's just moving back and forth, moving stuff.
What's up, Uther?
Ah, friends! Good to see you back. I have a lot of work to do today. I'm glad you could join me.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. I think this will be a fun couple of days.
For sure, for sure. We will start with just getting all of the equipment into the building and everything that has to deal with that. Does that sound good with you two?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. So, you guys have 11 crates that you need to carry in.
Total or each of us?
We'll go with each.
Okay.
Yes. We had quite a big shipment come down from one of our cities nearby. I've got a good friend who's got a hookup with the dragons there, so I get a lot of very, very good equipment from out of city. But it's most excellent. I'm very, very happy to be getting all of this new equipment, and I think it should be a good amount of work for at least the start of the day. So,
Okay, yeah. If you need us to do it, for sure, we're willing to help.
Most excellent. So you guys start hauling boxes. Can you go ahead and give me some strength rolls real quick?
Real quick, I'm just going to pull Smash aside and say, hey, you might just have to grab a couple of my boxes. I know you probably take like 2 or 3 of these at a time, so
Cool.
just if you're willing to help me out with it.
Can do so.
Nice.
Roll.
Yeah, let's get some strength rolls. Oh, yeah.
Strength, like athletics.
Athletics, yeah,
Smash
sorry.
definitely can take it.
I'm total 1.
Yeah, so you try picking up these boxes, and honestly, these are substantially heavier than you thought. And then you remember, we're moving robot parts. So I guess that does kind of make sense. You were, a little underprepared, but it's a good thing that Smash was here to be your pal. Because Smash just was like,
Thanks.
one up on this shoulder, one up on this shoulder, and just like marches in, and you just see the giant muscles flexing as Smash is just killing it, bringing those crates indoors. Another good friend who can carry 2 boxes at once. I like you. We should really get you hooked up with some of my friends sometime. Down at the city, they always need some help with everything going on down there. Whether it be security or, just general moving of boxes there too. It is a very big hub, so everything comes through here that is needing to go further east. It's just a fantastic place to get work. I'll make sure to write it down for you. I'll give you somebody to look into. Sound good, yeah?
Yeah, great.
Awesome. So you guys keep hauling boxes. Nothing too crazy seems to be immediately happening, but it definitely, you get this really, really nice, workout. You're a little sore, Scotch, by the end of even carrying 1 or 2 boxes, but what that's what you signed up for, right?
Absolutely. I'm a team player. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I haven't seen you around here, obviously, as you're new from the school. Tell me more about yourselves. How were your classes? What were your favorites?
Yeah. Gotta tell you, I was a big fan of the speech class. I'm a big talker. You can tell by looking at me. So love just getting to get up in front of a group of people and kind of use my words to get some people to agree with me. I don't know, but Smash, I'm sure you're. What are you? What are you digging on over here?
Fighting class.
Yes. He looks a little disappointed in Scotch, but not at all surprised.
Oh, sorry, Uther, I should also mention I'm a big, I like to shoot things. So whether that's a bow and arrow or guns, I don't know, anything else, that's just a real hobby of mine. So
Fair. Especially the classics. We all know that there are many out there who do not have access to robotics, so they must make do with what they have. I respect you finding actual other ways to do things in life. I know that there are many that just can't afford robots. They're incredibly expensive. But that's why we're here working, isn't it?
yeah.
Most excellent, my friends.
You're so funny.
But yes, I'm very glad to hear about the fighting spirit in one of you two. Even the traditional, more, scaredy cat far away fighting, but still fighting. I love it. Warms my heart. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and jump on over to Blanche for a little bit.
Blanche.
You see Blanche tinkering away like always. Her goggles are just seeming to be really, really ridiculous today. You see not only the goggles themselves, but 3 extra layers of glass as she's what looks like soldering some piece of metal onto just this massive sheet of just sheet metal.
Okay,
There's
I'm
no other
knocking
word
the
for it. It's
doorway.
just straight sheet metal.
Make sure that she's aware that I'm here, basically.
You're gonna
Hello?
say hello. No.
knock on the
Got
door.
it? Yeah. Ah, friend! How are you today?
I'm doing okay. How are you? How about yourself?
Pretty good. It's been a very, very good time. This is...
Yes. Have you ever worked with sound as sort of a concept of tinkering?
Ooh, I haven't tinkered very much with sound, but I'd love to do some more.
Ooh. I was just thinking, bats,
Ooh.
how they use sound. I was wondering if we could invent something like that to go with Merlin.
Intriguing. So something more like finding things with sound, or using it more as...
Yes.
Okay. Finding things with sound. You see her go grab a notebook and start scribbling all over. She flips between dozens and dozens of pages, looking at all of these other... You can see from here these sketches that she's had. And you see from the sketchbook, it's got, speakers, microphones, all of these just completely different designs that you've just never seen before in the world. You assume that there must be some portion of the technology that they have here that's partially just technology, but partially magic inside of the technology. So it's something very, very new, and not something you're inherently going to be able to grasp as directly. So, kind of like an echolocation?
Yes, exactly like that.
And you wanted to use... Scribble, 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 scribble. You wanted to use Merlin for that.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, let me take a peek at your Merlin really quick. And she walks over and grabs your goggles off of, or your glasses off of your head, and unscrews something, and all of a sudden you just see a Merlin right in the center of, the space.
Okay.
Hark!
Witchcraft.
How art thou, gear master? And she says, oh, good God, no. And she pokes a button to set him back to standard for her.
No.
Catastrophic. The worst timeline.
I'm so sorry. Apparently something must have happened that let him get stuck in there. That's really weird. I haven't seen that happen too much, but your sound system is kind of peculiar as is. We might actually be able to take advantage of that. Let's see here. You see her just grab tools, poke and prod, and the glasses themselves actually expand a little bit on their own without even having to be on the body. And she's able to lay out all of the parts that go inside and shrink up into the glasses. Let's see. Interesting. You have some weird stuff going on. Oh, you know what? Hold up. She pulls out the pad that she had earlier. I did see that somebody during the fight got a little bit damaged, especially pertaining to their sound units. That wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
I won't. Let's go with it was, I guess. You kind of caught me already, so.
I see. Interesting. Usually damage doesn't do stuff like this. So for echolocation, are you trying to have a more concentrated towards one direction kind of thing? A 360 around you and like a bubble kind of thing? Let's go ahead and nail down a little bit more what you want out of this.
I guess really more focused toward my eye line, I guess, specifically.
Okay, so like a cone in front of you.
Yes.
Okay. Cone in front. Perfect, perfect. Man, it's going to be helpful for any of the caves nearby, too. Any specific reason you wanted this?
Yeah, well, I mean, we spoke with Vivian briefly, and yeah, like she mentioned some caves and stuff, and I mean, just even being able to see in the night if we get ambushed or something like that would be helpful.
That's true. Even with your robot suits, it's going to take quite a bit of time to travel here. So, yeah, no, we can absolutely start working on that. Why don't you come on over here, and I'll show you some really, really cool stuff that's actually built into these suits, and you can work with me, and I'll have you grab me different stuffs from around the shop while we're working. Sound good?
Yep, that sounds good.
Cool. Can you roll me an investigation?
Okay.
Roll that investigation.
Oh my god.
A 7?
Oh my god. Can you also roll me at crafts?
Ooh, that's not as good.
Well,
yeah, it's a 0.
That's a 0? Okay. So as she's talking with you,
8.
you're able to like pick up a lot of what she's actually like putting down. Like you get exactly where she's coming from when it's all of these different things that are in the suit. They all make sense. Like you can compare them to things in reality and understand when sometimes it's just magic is magic. That being said, when you try to physically help her and actually do anything that deals with any form of actually touching the suit, your hands just burning and do terrible. It might as well be like you get blinded all of a sudden the moment you look towards technology and try to touch it. You are not the most technologically advanced of your friends.
You have become the Batman. Sunlight hurts too much.
Hey, nevertheless, you were doing a really good job helping her out and kind of getting down to like what kind of aspects of the armor you'd like to tweak and what you think you might be able to get out of it. We're going to go ahead and go on over to Vivian, who, as always, is very much going through all of her different notebooks filled with her drawings of the map landscaping, all of the different creatures she's been having to deal with, just the raw information that you get when you're constantly exploring.
Excellent. All right. I'm just gonna kind of do a light knock on the door and walk in. And all right. So I'm gonna walk in and go, "Hey, Vivian."
Oh, hello. So it's finally time for us to actually get some work done, huh?
I hope so. It sounds like we're on a pretty compressed schedule, and I'm hoping to get as much information
Yes.
about the area around Excalibur as we can. So whatever needs to
Absolutely.
be done, I'll do my best.
Well, the most urgent thing is actually mapping a little bit more around the actual castle itself. So we're going to be doing some of that exploring. With that,
Excellent.
we're going to kind of lean a little bit more into, me sussing out whether or not you're actually going to be helpful for anything else. Have you been using your goggles at all for anything other than the
have.
armor feature?
I'm loving the camouflage feature. It's made it really useful to sneak up on those robots.
Yes. It does like to embellish certain things depending on what interests you.
What interests me is getting information without having a head-on confrontation as often as possible.
Absolutely. For the most part, all of you should have at least a little bit of a feature. I know that I believe by default all of the leather users tend to have some sort of, whether it be stealth or athletic kind of feature to it that'll help them out. That's just based on the suit. You don't even have to be bothered with Uther. And I think even the plate wearers, any of you who went the full helmet, I believe you even have almost a whole nother... Like, you can take more damage without actually being permanently injured. But we'll have to take a peek into that later. They'll probably let you know before you leave.
Excellent. Look forward to it. I'll be sure to pass on what I can to my my teammates as well. So I heard tell that, if we get a total of about 3 days worth of work with you, we can hopefully get a relatively laid out map with our exploring and whatever else that entails.
Yes, it's going to be a map of the area around the lake itself. It would give you some information about the nearby towns, a cave, the different trails, the bridges, the different ports, but nothing that would be incredibly... It's not going to... In case you didn't realize, the way we're going is to... You have to find the actual Excalibur cave. You do realize this, correct?
I know. I'm just trying to make that as simple
easy
a
as
job as possible.
That's more than fair. From what we can tell, it's not quite near us. But that's about all we can tell at this moment. We've been doing quite a bit of work. But it seems like we need...
It gives us a place to start looking.
Absolutely. The bigger thing is, as you can probably tell, I'm not a huge people person.
Don't worry, I'm not either.
Yes, the problem is, it seems like unless we spend an exorbitant amount of time searching these two preparation days, you're very likely going to have to go work with some of the individuals around the lake to actually nail down where on your map the location of the cave might be. Just as a warning.
Just because I don't like people doesn't mean they can't be useful.
Exactly. Exactly. That being said, we've done quite a bit of tracking around here, but recently around the castle walls and area, we've been seeing quite a bit of activity from vermin, and it's going to be our job to actually double check how many there are, just observe in general, see how many vermin are around the castle, what all's going on, if there's anything we need to be urgently worried about, and fight them or anything like that. Does that sound good?
This vermin, are they relatively organized, kind of like a patrol, or is it more helter-skelter?
from what we can tell, it's more the rats of unusual size seem to have taken a liking to our walls. They probably realize that we have substantially better food than any of the towns anywhere nearby us, so they've been
Not
mostly
organized.
dealing with that.
Unfortunate. It'd be easier if they had some drive in order to predict what they're doing, but hopefully if we can't not alert them, they won't give us too many problems on our daily missions.
Yes, quite. So Vivian goes ahead and takes you out to one of the more upper towers on the actual wall that's outside of the castle. So for the castle itself, I haven't really talked to you guys way too much about it. It's an actual castle with the courtyard and then another set of an entire wall around it. And so Vivian actually takes you outside and up through the gate. The gate tower things, the actual gate itself, and brings you atop the towers. And from there, you guys are going to be go ahead and watching some rodents of unusual size go by. So we're going to go ahead and go back to Uther for now. You guys have wrapped up carrying all 11 boxes each, or more accurately, probably, 5 for Scotch and all the rest for Smash?
Yes, correct.
Sounds about right. And so after that, he's like, now we take a good break like every single individual does after hard work. He grabs a couple of pints and gets ready to, just sit down and have a chat with you guys for a little bit.
Hey.
What is your drink of choice, my friends?
I'm sure you can guess by my nickname, but it's a Scotch if you have it in this world. I don't know if you do.
This world?
You're a fool.
Yeah.
I understand that we travel, but come on. Earth is always everyone's home.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What have they gotten into you kids at that school?
They fill our heads with some weird nonsense. I know, it's strange.
Evidently so. He goes and looks to see, but it doesn't look like he has any scotch, and he ends up bringing you back a barrel-aged beer instead.
Good.
It's no scotch, but it's close enough.
Perfect.
And how about you, Smash?
Appletini on the rocks.
She'll roll for it.
A man of excellent taste. Let me go grab you one.
I did it.
So you see this giant man walk over to... He, double knocks on a piece of his countertop, and this entire just bar set just flips open.
Nice.
And you see him just... These apparently very incredibly nimble hands picks up these... all the different tools that you have that are substantially smaller than him. And he just pours everything perfectly, shakes it perfectly. It's like he's done this before. Like he has some really big interest in actually just being a barkeep himself.
Wow, Uther, you look like you have some experience there, huh?
Yes, but it's only a hobby. We don't have much time to drink around here, so you got to make the most of it.
Well, maybe you keep doing it for a hobby and eventually become a real job. You never know.
Oh, I don't know. My heart does still belong with the Knights of the Round Table. I know that we're not tied to any government, and we're here to keep peace. That speaks to me. To keep people united, to keep them working together, and to keep the world safe from Morgana.
United, am I right?
Yes.
Right, Uther? United? Okay. Keep going, sorry.
Uther looks at you with a little bit of a weird stare that you seem to be very, very fixated on the United part, but it is what it is.
It's a little harder than I meant.
Sounds like counter-espionage to me. Spies!
So he goes ahead and brings over your appletini and sets it right in front of you, and it's gosh darn, it's probably one of the best appletinis you ever had.
Nice.
This is delicious, Ether. Thank you.
You see the big man start blushing and says, "Ah, well, thank you, friend. It means a lot that you would enjoy my drinks."
Very much.
So you see Uther pour himself a gin and tonic. Nothing too crazy. Gotta keep it simple sometimes. And he just, wants to chat for a bit. So I know we talked a little while you were moving boxes, but now that we're here across mano y mano, what actually brought you here? I know that you don't have to take the choice of working with the knights. So why here? What made you accept?
Yeah, I think that it just the opportunity was too good to pass up. This is this area has such a great esteem that we felt like we got this offer, we should take it and get to meet some really great people and get to experience being part of this great organization, this great community.
This seems fair. How about you, Smash? Is that the same as you?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Few words
Yeah,
I
what do you
respect it.
What?
Few words I respect it.
Oh.
But both
Yes.
work. I am a man of the proper amount of words, depending on what you need to get across. I don't worry if you need few or many. I'm not a judge of that.
I like you, Uther. You're simple. You
Yes.
keep it straightforward, and I love that. You're my favorite people I've met here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You have been very, very kind and very, very hardworking while here. Some slightly more hardworking than others, but still hardworking nonetheless. I understand.
Smash sometimes a little lazy, but we kick him in the butt and I give him a wink.
Ah, yes, I see. All right. So, I was talking to you about my friend earlier, Aurelius. He works down with the down in Ashton. There's the sizable dragon liner industry down there. Incredible place. The amount of work they get done is, whew. I could only imagine how much technology goes through that place, and other goods. The rest of the world needs to still keep living, of course. But definitely let me know if you're ever in the area of Ashton. It's on the harbor, but it's very, very close to a large desert area, so a lot of business goes on down there. I'm sure Ashton would be a fantastic place to explore at some point, and I'm sure my friend would very, very appreciate seeing you. Just make sure you tell him Uther sent you. He'll be sure to brighten up a bit then.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you say your friend's name was? Did I miss it?
My friend's name? Yes, absolutely. It is Aurelius. Do you need me to spell?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Aurelius. Aurelius. Me and Aurelius go way back.
On that.
Most excellent man. I definitely trust him quite a bit. But he's been with the Dragon Liner for a very, very long time. That company, they're pretty much the sole way of rapid movement outside of robotics in the earthen area. Plus, they can honestly get a lot more weight. We still have not fully grasped the ability to make robots as strong as Dragonkin. It's quite impressive the way they are naturally built.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, we'll have to check it out. We might get a map here, so we'll go down there and check it out.
Yeah.
Most excellent. I'm sure Vivian will be working and doing her best on making sure that there will be some form of map for you. All right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So we're going to go ahead and swap on over to Blanche.
Nice.
All right. And you guys have been getting good work done. You've been able to really kind of like rip apart things and you were probably a little bit worried. You see her just kind of not really think second about unscrewing things and tearing them apart. It seems, a little questionable, but, this is her job full time. What could go wrong, right? And you seem to be learning quite a bit. Like, you're getting a deeper understanding of at least the technology in the goggles, or in the glasses, if not the technology that seems to be across a lot of the different options that you have. With the way it expands out of the glasses, and you would assume that the goggles and the helmet, it's almost like it's specifically the Mark IIIs seem to kind of be like halfway between magic, but also just the incredible ability to have shrunk down so much stuff. And you're kind of realizing why the expense of these suits are so high, and honestly why you guys are even really insanely lucky to have a suit. So I think we should be able to circulate Merlin over and over through this speaker, but I'm not sure how well he's going to be able to pick it back up himself right now. We might be able to do super easily more of a blasting sound from it, but I'm not sure if that would be at risk to anybody else around you, even in robotic suits yet.
Yeah. I'm just... I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
No worries. Oh man, we haven't had trains of thoughts in here for a long time. It's mostly dragon liners nowadays. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I like the idea. I'm not sure if we're going to be fully able to utilize the microphone as much as we want, since the ones that are inside the suits traditionally are more along the lines of one directional, not omnidirectional. They're really only meant to capture what you're saying, not the outside.
Yes.
So I might have to double check. It might be possible that you could walk up to Uther and ask him if he has any spare, just any spare broken parts today. Since we don't have a lot of spare microphones sitting around. Would you want to go do that for me real quick?
Yeah, that sounds good. Sure. I'll go run up there.
Awesome. So you go ahead and run on up to Uther's. Do you do anything on the way there, or just go straight to Uther's?
I look for the king, but other than that, not really.
You see the king out in the courtyard through the gates, but he doesn't seem to be doing anything especially crazy. He's just talking with a couple of knights, trying to get them set up. It kind of seems like it's a whole nother crew of just new recruits that he's talking with.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just keep on going my way then.
Cool. So you make it up to Uther's, and you see him and your friends or colleagues, as it may be, just sitting back drinking what looks to be an apple teeny and a really, really dark beer. Uther sees you walk in. Apparently they all see you walk in.
Oh.
No worries. Absolutely. Uther says, hello, friend.
Hi. I've been working with Blanche. I'm with these two fine people here. We're hoping, me and Blanche are hoping, do you have any microphones that may be defective in some way that we could perhaps use?
Let me check in back really quick. It looks like we have one spare microphone from helmet, 2 from goggles, and 1 from glasses that broke on shipment. So, and he hands you these slightly different microphones, but for the most part, very, very close together, seem to be almost interchangeable from each other.
All right, well, thanks. I'll head back down to Blanche unless you need something from me.
I think... How about you, friends? Anything you'll need from him? Otherwise, I think I'm good. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
For Gucci.
Tell Blanche I said hello.
All right, I can do that.
And so you run on back to Blanche, and she's actually quite surprised. You got not even just 1, but 4. He's like, wow. Usually it's like
Yeah.
a very, very low chance of having any microphones broken.
Yeah, it must have been some difficulties with their shipment recently.
Yeah, there's been some sketchiness getting shipments in lately. The highwaymen are not so kind to the caravans that are traveling between, well, anywhere, honestly. But, I mean, hey, more stuff for us, right, guys? She says to a room of just you and her.
Yeah.
She grabs the microphones and starts to try to take them apart and take a look at them. It's possible we might be able to make an array of these and might be able to actually finish up with what you're talking about. I'll try to have a prototype up that we can test for the afternoon today.
Sounds good.
With that, oh, did you have something to say?
I was just like, are there just a little bit concerned or maybe like curious? Are there other like personalities or programs in this room, or is it just us?
Oh, no, it's just us, but I love my robots. They give, they give me a lot,
No. I understand that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, you're
Like
fine.
that. I didn't know.
You're
I
fine.
just know you're very inventive. I didn't know there was another project that you had going on that you were.
Goodness, no. I mean, I do have cameras, as always, just in case something goes on. Got to get those magical crystal cameras always running, make sure, just in case something goes missing. No offense to you, but we don't always have the most scrupulous students, even if they do manage to be the top of their class. But, that very rarely happens. We just have to keep an eye on people.
Yeah, there's a variety of classes. They could have, specialized in anything. I understand.
Exactly. And with that, we're going to jump on over to Vivian and Pockets.
Vivian.
Let's go.
And so, you guys have been sitting up there, not really talking because neither of you are people persons. And you've kind of just been dealing with the fact of you're kind of just sitting there counting rodents, if we're being completely honest. But at the same time, what's up?
How am I doing?
So far, so good. You guys have found... Oh, dropped it. Oh, crap. You guys have seen a total of 9 rats pass by.
Too bad.
You're not 100% sure if they've all been different ones, or if some of them have been running back and forth. It looks like a certain section of the castle might be the area they're going to. But Vivian still has just been sitting there counting and what seems to be doodling the actual rodents of unusual size.
Excellent.
Do you say anything?
Trying
to...
are we going to go past this wall? If we need to find the cave, shouldn't we, I don't know, be moving a little bit more?
Oh, if you're trying to find the cave itself, there's no way we can find that, not within these 2 days. It's at least... So we're assuming it's on the other side of the lake, because we've done quite a bit of exploration near our location here. And she motions, and you can see from the castle walls that you were actually sitting atop a very, very large mountain on a mountain range that kind of engulfs this, not necessarily all you can see, but you can see it over to the east and over to the west are mountains, and then straight to the south is just a lake. And the north is also mountains. You guys are kind of nestled in this keep. And she motions towards the lake, which realistically isn't a lake at all, because you can't see the end of it. This thing is massive. It's more like, if you were to call it a lake, it's more like the Great Lakes are here. Not a tiny little like fishing lake or anything. It's a big place. And she motions towards the lake itself. We've actually checked out most of the area around here, and haven't found the cave that would be most likely holding the laboratory. So at least within the local area, that would take probably 4 days worth of travel. Even longer if you didn't have a robotic suit. to aid you with a little bit of help there. We haven't been able to find it. So we're guessing that it's very much likely in the southern tip of the lake itself, which would literally take several weeks to get to. So no, we're not going to find it. But we are working on other duties that I need to perform, so that way, while we have spare time, I can make you copies and make you sound crystals that could possibly contain at least a description of the area. But if we're looking towards a map, I would be definitely start working on that tonight, since I don't have to be worrying about these rodents actually being understood as what kind of threat they are.
Well, if you could let me know a little bit more about these rodents that we're keeping an eye on. Maybe I can let you go back a bit early and try and keep an eye on them myself. Get you a little bit more time to work on that map.
I would appreciate that. From what I can tell, they seem to be kind of from this. She motions towards the northern area above from the castle. It seems to be coming from this kind of mountain area. I'm not 100% sure where they're going, mostly because we've been sitting here all day and I've been actually just drawing them to make sure we understand the actual intensity of these rodents for the future, and also to make note of them for our long-term. She pats a book that she's holding. Bookkeeping to understand the actual creatures and the factions that all take place here. From what I can tell, they're semi-intelligent. They understand working together, but at the same time, they're not, directly communicating. My guess would be you could either try to seal up where they're possibly getting what I think is food, or you could just try to beat the crap out of them and scare them away.
As I said before, I prefer to take a less head-on approach. So I'd say either preventing them from coming down or sealing off that food source would probably be in our best interest, avoiding conflict altogether.
That seems fair. So we did recently get a shipment of grain from a town nearby, quite close. If I get you a map, I'll end up showing you there. It's pretty clearly marked on our maps, especially if I'm making you a replica. The name.
Have they ever gotten past the walls?
The rodents.
Yeah.
Not as far as we can tell. They usually don't bother us much. They have one come by every once in a while, sniff around, and then leave. But I think specifically since we just got grain from Portia, that they're trying to take some of it. That would be my guess, as they do seem a bit fatter if they're walking back from the castle towards the mountains themselves.
They seem pretty docile. Why are we keeping an eye on them? Have people been hurt before by them?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't exactly love rodents of unusual size around my area. I don't know how dangerous they could be. They could have rabies.
I suppose. One of the guys in our group is kind of has a soft spot for animals, it seems. He was all handsy with a rabbit. It's just got me.
I mean, rabbits are excellent,
wondering.
beautiful little creatures. These rodents are much less. They're not known to be incredibly aggressive, but they're also at the same time known to attack if you're in their area, their zone. It doesn't matter. You don't have to kill them if you just want to be working on packing up a wall or hunting down exactly where the grain rip is. You can do that, whatever. I don't care.
That's definitely my plan. I feel like I'd get an earful about it otherwise.
You don't have to tell him, but whatever. You do you. That being said, if that's true, I'm going to go ahead and get back to my workshop and start getting work on making a copy. We don't actually have any good ways of replicating instantaneously maps, oddly enough. Papers seem to mess all of our technology up constantly. It's quite weird. So I actually have to start making copies of the map by hand. If that is for sure what we're working on, I will start working on that, though.
Absolutely. If you could point me in the direction of that grain shipment, I think I'll go do some sleuthing.
Absolutely. So she walks with you over to one of the towers and points at a little caravan that's kind of sitting off to the side next to the wall itself. Why they thought that was a good spot to leave it, I don't know. You can blame it on peon laziness, because that's what it always is.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and head that way.
Most excellent. So she goes and heads on back to her office and, does what scribes and explorers do. You see the cart itself doesn't seem to be anything special other than it's just like straight up missing a wheel at this point and seems slightly pushed over. And you can't tell anything immediately. That would be an issue. At this point, you're not sure if you want to do this alone or if you want to do it with friends, and I'm going to let you make that choice yourself.
Click that. Let me go back to resources. Let me see what burglary lets me do. Would I be able to see if the cart had been tampered with real quick before going too much farther in?
Are you going to use investigation or burglary for that?
I would like to use burglary. I'm trying.
Okay.
Because like,
justify it for me real quick.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a puzzle yet, but I'm sure I would have, in my many years of thievery, learned to spot, a similar set of skills that would, tip something in their favor.
Absolutely. That seems fair. Go ahead and make a burglary roll for me real quick.
Burglary.
Oh wow, I'm pretty sure that's a demolished roll. Was it a 7 or a 6? Oh yeah, good God. You look at this and you honestly, why don't you tell me? What would excite you to see in this cart itself? What do you want it to be a burglary? Do you want it to be it was just an accident, nothing really going on here? Or is there some foul play afoot, my friend?
I think there's gonna be some foul play afoot.
I guess you can tell that it looks kind of like this cart was damaged beforehand, and that kind of thing definitely led to it collapsing where it shouldn't be. And so it's really, really interesting that somebody's not completely on board with the Knights, but that's not a complete surprise. But the more you look at it, the more you realize this cart isn't filled all the way with grain. This cart was hollowed out, and it looked like somebody may have been underneath it while it was being transported here.
Excellent.
What?
Yeah. So at this point, are you going to continue trying to do this case all alone? You there? Is everything okay? Ooh.
Weird pockets.
You not hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, but you're super quiet for some reason.
It also keeps making a weird noise, like you're plugging.
Yeah,
in,
like your
plugging out.
microphone's getting
Hang on.
messed with. Do I need to give you another headset?
God, I hope not. Any better?
Oh, that's
Sounds
all better.
better.
Yeah.
Excellent.
much.
Yeah, I just replugged them in. But yeah, no. Going from here, I want to get a better view of the wall, but also I really don't want to do this by myself anymore. So I'm going to head back down to where I know at least two people are. I'm gonna head towards Uther.
Most excellent. So, before you are there, Uther actually is talking to these friends, and he's like, you know what? You guys have had excellent work today. Very, very good effort. I'm gonna go ahead and mark that down. You guys gave me 2 very, very full days of work, even though it's not the end of the day yet. Go have fun. Go enjoy time with your friends. Bond as a group. I'm not sure how well you got together during the classes, but I want you guys to be good group together. Because teamwork, it makes that dream work.
All right. Are you gonna do stuff for it? Just kidding. Not saying that out loud.
But you kind of.
But he did write down, you see him visibly write down information about the work you guys were getting in, the money that you've been stocked up. And he says, oh, don't worry about the money, by the way. I let you guys buy the worth that you get with budget before you leave. Don't worry, I won't forget about it.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, dude. It was a fun time. Maybe we'll have to come get a drink sometime, whether it's tomorrow or when we get back in the mission, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I would enjoy very much.
Awesome.
And so you guys are released to go back upstairs, do whatever. Jumping over to Blanche, I think, and you hear this click, clang, snap. She's like, oh, perfect. I think that'll work. Can you go test this outside somewhere? As she hands you back your glasses.
Sure.
So I don't think it's going to be quite perfect just yet, but just let me know if anything seems to be backfiring or if there's any issues when you're running it itself. I should be able to. It's going to use a much lower pitch sent out of the much higher pitch sent out, and be able to detect any reflections in a very, very small cone area in front of you, kind of similar to your eyesight, a little bit tighter than that. So let me know if anything sounds weird, if you guys can hear it yourself, if it seems to be, a little loud or something crazy like that. Just let me know, okay?
Yeah, I definitely will.
So there's plenty of stuff in the courtyard to test out on, or you can, go look outside or whatever sounds good to you.
All right. Yeah, I'll go to the courtyard.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yep.
So all of you all of you end up climbing up the stairs, and you're kind of in a same area.
Hey, Red!
What
Ah,
up?
kids, what's going on?
I just have to test something out, guys. I'm still on the clock. I don't know.
We just got to let go. I mean, we're supposed to have to do 2 days of work with Uther. He's just marked us down that we did the full 2 days, so...
Well, today started out boring for me. I was sitting on a wall doing absolutely no work on a map, and kind of led me to a pile of grain in a cart, and
But you weren't working on the map.
All right.
Okay. What do you mean? Pockets?
Well, it was kind of tipped over, didn't have a wheel. And due to the past and whatnot, it's very clearly been tampered with. And I'm not quite sure what to expect up that way, but it just didn't seem like something I wanted to deal with by myself, especially when I'm still trying to figure out this suit.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, so, I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I think we have a day and a half extra time than we thought we were going to have, everybody, so...
Yeah, maybe we'll stick with you, Pockets. Or at least I should, in case something goes bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we could all go, that I think that might be best, but especially if, you've done what you needed to today.
I can't. I don't think. I gotta test this out and then at least head back.
Do you need
come
help,
test
Red?
it out with us?
Like, should we split up
Yeah,
2 and 2, or Red, are you okay by yourself?
I should be fine by myself. Yeah, I'm just heading to the courtyard. Because I mean, I don't know what I tested on to go with you guys. You know what I'm saying? And it might, since it's untested, it might cause some like hearing damage and backlash. We don't know exactly.
Okay, well, we'll at least spend the rest of our day, I guess, with Pockets, and then we'll find you at the end of the day, and we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll see you guys tonight for sure.
Alright, see you then, Red.
Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and do some quick stuff with Red. What exactly are you wanting to try and test echolocation-wise in the courtyard itself? Are you going to turn on the hollow dome and try to turn it into a cave? Like, what's the big plan here?
Well, first I want to see is King Arthur still around.
As far as you can tell, King Arthur is no longer here.
Okay.
You don't see him on the balcony where you saw him earlier
Yeah.
during, your guys' training either.
All right, I'm just kind of want to, I guess, sort of like face it, like one of the walls maybe, and like kind of study it for a minute, and then like close my eyes and activate the glasses and try and test it on the wall to see, I guess, how detailed it is.
Okay. So you go ahead and do that, and definitely didn't drop anything. Everything seems to actually go really, really well. You kind of hear a low, like, boom, boom, but you can't see anything because your eyes are closed.
Okay.
And the echolocation helps you understand this, like, it lets your suit understand, but it doesn't necessarily give you as a human being the ability to process echolocation through just pure sound.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I meant just like to where I couldn't like see it, but I wanted to try to use the suit to see it.
That's fair. You hear Blanche go ahead and call you over the Merlin autonomous messaging system, or Mace for short. And she goes, "Hi. I forgot to tell you, if you type in the code 4132 onto the hologram machine, it should give you a cave system that should probably help you out a lot. Most of it's designed specifically for low light and no light environment training. If you want to go ahead and run over and do that really quick."
All right, thanks. I'll go do that.
Cool. And so I'm assuming you walk over and type it into the... Cool. You slowly see the space of the courtyard darken and just kind of turn into this giant dome as it appears over you. And it starts with just the centerpiece that's in the middle of the sky, and like below it just gets pitch black. And it just not pixel by pixel, but almost like triangle by triangle. The dome just this dome forms over the entirety of the courtyard itself. And what's up?
I just said bum bum bum.
Yes. And the courtyard itself gives you this kind of cave opening next to where you're standing.
All right, I'm gonna try and test it again, I guess, and see.
Most excellent. So how far in do you want to try and go into the cave system before you think, like, do you want to walk until you can't see the outside light anymore? Do you want to walk to a spot where you can't really see going forward, but you can still see behind you?
Yeah, I want to go to where I can't see going forward, but I can behind.
So you're less afraid of getting lost. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Go ahead and roll. Just roll.
Just roll. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
Oh.
Amazing.
Yikes, Red.
So you go ahead and start on up your test, and the sound is substantially louder this time, and you can feel the entire cave shake and shudder, and the ground below you just falls, and now you're way deep in this pitch black cave, and you're not entirely sure where the light is. Can you go ahead and roll me an investigation check real quick?
Ooh.
Hey, 6.
The good news is you're not that bad at this. You can still make out enough to say, I think this is the general direction I need to go. And immediately you're not sensing any danger. Do you want to try and make it out on your own, or do you want to try and utilize the sonar again?
I'm gonna try the sonar again.
Cool, go ahead and roll again for me. Okay, so this time it seems to be working, and you see, like, not as clearly defined, but you can see lines that you couldn't really see in your visor before after you send it out. But you can tell that your machine itself is not very happy with you and keeps making this dull tone in your ears whenever you send out the echolocation request. That being said, you're able to go ahead and make it a good probably 20 or 30 meters towards the exit, and are starting to see it brighten up a little bit.
Nice.
Can you do you want to try and use it one last time, or do you just want to try and
I want
make it
to
out?
talk to Merlin and be like, "Hey, are you doing okay?"
Hawk! Yes, I am doing all right, my friend, but my language seems to have been semi-damaged in between all of this mess. You might need to have Blanche check me out again.
All right, and then I guess with that knowledge, I'm just gonna try and use the wall and just sort of follow the wall out.
Cool. So, using the wall, you're able to get probably 10 or so more meters, and you're starting to actually see the light that'll let you guide the rest of the way out. The fact is, it wasn't a super big cave to begin with, and conveniently, it's not designed to kill you, because you didn't actually turn on any of the hazards, luckily. You never know, though. One day something might get messed up. And you make your way back out, and you go ahead and travel back to Blanche after shutting off the cave itself. So let's go ahead and swap over to the rat party. Where are you guys checking out first? Are you checking out
party?
Checking out the
Party.
Where are you going?
Wherever we need to go.
I'm going to lead them to the bottom of the cart and just kind of point out a place where I think, judging by the looks of it, it could have easily been used to smuggle something into the kingdom. And with the food on the other side, I'm not sure if the rats are necessarily dangerous, but they don't know how they're getting into the kingdom, and I'm thinking the rats are not the issue here. I'm thinking something else is. So if you guys want to help me look around here, just walk along the wall with me. Maybe keep an eye on the food from a nearby building, something like that. Just knowing that you guys are close is gonna make this a lot easier.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'll just kind of chill and make sure I'm keeping my notice up, just making sure I don't notice anything happening around me.
All right. So you guys go ahead and make your way to the front gate. A guard goes ahead and stops you and says, "Halt! Aren't you the new recruits that are working with our workers to eventually go and hunt down the cave under the Lady of the Lake?"
That's the plan. I'm trying to give Vivian some time off because she's trying to help us with some stuff. And she said she needed me to keep an eye on some missing food. So I just was trying to see if I could track down how something could be getting past. Well, I guess you.
Ridiculous. Nothing gets past us guards. But, whatever. We'll let you play this game. You can go ahead and check outside and see if anything peculiar seems to have appeared for you.
I want to tell him thank you, just give him a big smile and say thanks for all your service, just to make him feel really good about himself.
He looks a little bit more chipper, especially after, being insulted by Pockets saying he sucks at his job.
Hurricane Pockets.
Hurricane
Coming
Pockets
at you
for real,
live.
though.
Be a pocket full of light slap on the cheek. Pockets, hey.
And he kind of straightens up his shoulder and nods towards you and says, "Thank you," as he lets you through the front gate to go around and look at the castle itself. So the castle itself, I'm gonna go ahead and draw you guys the shape of it on the little sketch area. I don't know if you guys can see that sketch area or not, but it should be below you. So
Nope. I see nothing.
now
I do.
Okay, perfect. You shouldn't have seen anything yet, but we're gonna go ahead and draw that. So this is the gatehouse, and this is gonna be a very, very quick sketch because it's with a mouse and it's really bad.
Oh, so good, Picasso. When did you get here? Jeez.
I messed up. whatever. It's mirrored on both sides. We'll just pretend like I did that perfectly. So this is the outer wall.
I love it.
Okay.
There's also a tower here. You guys just left the gatehouse here. The castle itself is here. We're just going to draw a really crappy castle. It's the Mushroom Kingdom, as you can tell.
No, it's a shield. I love it.
Hey, and then this was the courtyard here itself. This massive courtyard, and this is the gate.
Ooh.
So you guys are
Those
right outside
lazy
the gate right
bastards.
now.
Excellent.
You saw the broken stuff right about here. So are you going to go directly to it, like this way, or are you going to wrap around, make sure you're missing nothing else? For reference, you were on the wall here, and you saw the rats walking between these 2 points.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. In that case, we're going to go ahead and go. I'm thinking up to the right, Scotch. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, you're the expert here. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
I saw
Like
him coming from the top right corner when I was sitting there dreaming of lunch. And then, yeah, that cart is off to our right. So, well, no.
That's why you were dreaming of lunch. What important meal did you miss at the beginning of the day? That made you dream of lunch.
All right, doctor. Now's not the time for another lecture.
I feel like you got low-key called out a bit there, bud.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
low.
so
It wasn't low-key.
let's go
I
ahead.
mean,
let's go to our left. I think that's where the cart was, and let's just see if anything's catching our eye. Keep your guard up, but also I don't really think the rats are necessarily dangerous, so we could probably avoid
all right.
tormenting them.
I also hate to say that a rat versus my good friend Smasher. I don't think it's going to be much of competition.
That's why I'm a little worried about bringing you guys, but
I won't attack unless they attack us. Don't worry, and I'll make sure. Smash, you agree? No attack unless they
I'm gonna
attack.
say I'm not necessarily worried about you.
Yeah, sure.
Savage. So you guys get about here, and you recognize that the space between these two towers is where there should have been an issue. Can you go ahead and roll me either a burglary or investigative check, all of you?
All of us, Hunter.
Going burglary.
I have 0 for either.
I got a 2.
What am I rolling for?
No, I got a 3.
Burglary / investigation.
My first
I
one
got
was
a
0. I actually rolled twice. So
Woof.
what do you have? You have burglary or investigation?
Not very.
Nope.
Yeah, because I have a 4, so
I rolled a total of 0. Hunter rolled a total of 2.
I rolled a total of 3.
For your burglary? So something seems off about this wall. Like, not quite right. Like, it's not, like, immediately jumping to your mind. But, I mean...
I would like to argue that I could use my notice, which is a 2. So
Okay.
I'd like to use my notice for that instead of
Notice?
regular.
Okay, which will give you a total of...
2.
Okay, so altogether, you guys are starting to piece together something's not right with this wall. You can't quite put your finger on it. It's like it's not something you've seen before in your world, but it's like it doesn't feel real. Like something it looks like a mirage to you.
Can I reach out and touch it?
You reach out and touch it. Go and give me just a roll. Okay. So you feel a slight tingle when you touch it that shocks you a bit, but nothing too crazy. And your hand kind of starts to go through it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ba ba ba. I'm gonna look over pockets and say, "You first."
I'm down.
All right. So you walk into what looks to be the cart from the other side. You see kind of like a fake ceiling above it where the grain would be, and you realize that this was very, very clearly a hiding spot for somebody. And you also see what looks to be like a rat pelt sitting in the corner.
The giant rodents.
Yes, a very, very large rat pelt.
Oh, fuck.
Like one that you could almost put on top of any of you other than Smash and probably hide.
That's my plan. I'm gonna pick that up. I see that as a perfect
Some of
opportunity
the
for some
people
steal.
are rodents.
Can I just like give Smash a look and be like, hey, are you ready to fuck this guy up or whoever's under this thing if we need to?
And then I crack my knuckles menacingly and walk forward.
So there was nothing underneath the pelt. It was just the pelt itself. Much to
What's
Smash's
this, hollow?
chagrin, I would
There's
assume.
gonna be somebody in here.
From what
Or
you
somebody, or a rat person took their pelt off and is pretending to be a human in the castle.
from what you can tell, you didn't see anybody walking around the cart anymore after you got there, and it seems pretty empty. You can definitely see footprints around the area, but nothing else anymore, other than this what seems to be abandoned pelt. You think it's probably just because it was like ripped or something? You know, always bring spares to your secret espionage missions, guys.
Can we investigate the pelt?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll and investigate for me.
I think you should do it, Pockets. Oh, you have a 0 investigate as well.
I was gonna say I don't have an investigate.
Well,
All right.
we need red.
I'll just roll for it, and whoever has the best score will investigate it.
I
Right?
think that's how it works. Can we
Sure,
do
and
that?
all of you can roll together and add up your totals. That's the other option, is using you guys as a hive mind.
Okay. Well, I suck. Sorry, guys.
Roll
Let's
Pockets.
go
Let's just take
3
your roll by itself.
3 for 3.
There you go, Pockets. We gotta see it.
-4.
I see. So all together, you guys can tell this is definitely a pelt, and it looks like an oversized rat. Past
love
that,
it. It's mine now.
Academics. Can I squat down and use my academics and medical chagrin knowledge to check it out?
so how are you going to use your academics? Like, what specific thing do you want to examine and leverage the knowledge that you have of the scientific world for this?
Well, you know, in medical school, we dissected a lot of animals and things, so I kind of want to kneel down and see if I can tell by its pelt if it is typical to what we're used to in our world. You know, do these giant rodents have 6 legs? Do they have 4? You know, are they kind of similar to regular rats in the world, just giant? Is it a real rat pelt?
Absolutely.
You know, was the rat pelt taken off by force or?
All good.
Yeah.
All
good
excellent
options.
questions. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me another roll. Let's try to get rid of that -2 and see what you get. Nice. So that puts you at a nice solid 4, right?
Yeah.
So you're able to really get down in the nitty gritty, and you open it up and see that there's no guts inside this. It's exclusively a skin, and the more you feel it, the more you're realizing this is, at a minimum, not an actual rat pelt from the earth you're used to. To you, your gut says this has to be synthetic. There's no way this is a real rat. There's no way any of this is an actual thing that is existing in this situation at this exact time. You know, maybe there's giant rats here, whatever. You don't know. But this specific one, everything about your gut is saying this isn't a real rat. This is just like something somebody wanted. It's like one of those little pretend ones that you buy at like a shop to hang on your wall or whatever. But it looks real enough from far away.
I think that the rats aren't real. That the giant rodents were made up for some reason. Maybe this person is just wearing pelts and trying to scare people.
I want to just turn and ask, like, do you think we should tell the guards or Vivian about this? Do you think we need to keep it to ourselves? I mean, what's the move here? I think at bare minimum we need to try to sneak this pelt out of here if we're not going to tell anyone about it and keep this so we can try to do some investigating. Once we get it back to Red probably could investigate much better than we could.
Okay, what do you think, Pockets?
I'm just trying to figure out who ultimately do we trust here?
I think we only trust ourselves.
We trust
right?
ourselves. I think Uther seemed pretty stand up. I trust Uther. What vibe did you get from Vivian today?
I honestly, of the 3, I liked her the most, but you know, I want to go talk to her more, see if she came to the same conclusion about the rats. They seem to be watching them obsessively for a reason, so maybe they came to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a
What's
good idea.
the
I think
skill
that
where we
at
can
minimum,
tell if we trust people or not?
Part of it's depending on how you want to argue things. You can either try to deceive them and see if they admit anything. If you use empathy to kind of try and say, hey, like, I understand exactly what you're going through. You could use notice to see if you're seeing any specific thing that they're, got like kind of a show. You could use rapport.
Okay, what if we... Okay, Pockets, what about this? What if we take the pelt back with us, we'll hide it, and we'll go up and talk to Vivian and see if Scotch could use his deceive and his empathy to try and get something out of her to see if we can trust her.
Works for me.
I think bottom line, I think we could at least not trust these guards. I mean,
For sure.
I don't. We have no idea who they are, so I think me and Smash, I can deceive the guard, and you can for sure just sneak past him. Does that sound like a plan?
Right, I thought we were already back inside.
Right now, you guys are still standing. Well, technically, you are inside. You're actually inside this. So I guess you could break that down.
I'm big enough that the pelt will fit underneath my clothes easily. I can hide it for sure. If you deceive the guards, we can go. And once we meet back up with Red, we can see if he'll notice anything
I was
else.
thinking if we use my deceive plus Pockets' stealth, which is also a 3, we can get a +6 to trying to evade the guards.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so you guys are gonna try and go back through the front gate.
I don't know. What do you think?
I'll
Do you
go
think
with Pockets just in case there's trouble.
Your stealth is not.
I'm not stealthy, but I can.
I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think, Pockets?
What else am I gonna do? Stay here?
Well, you're coming with me. We're gonna deceive the guards so that.
But I don't have high deceive either.
Well, you're just chill and be with me.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about Pockets, but okay.
Works
Okay.
for me.
Whatever you think, as long as you think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, so whatever you want to do, Smash. I'm gonna go up to the guard and just do some good old deceiving that I think he's a great guy and really want to just know more about how he got to be a guard and learn more about his life.
I see. All right.
And then while he's doing that, I'm gonna try and sneak behind him.
So you guys go ahead and walk over to the front gate, right?
Yep.
Is that what we're saying? Perfect. The guard sees you and opens it back up and says, "Ha! I told you guys you wouldn't find anything. We're the perfect guards. Whatever, you can come on back in."
Love it.
Didn't
Thanks,
even.
buddy.
All right, guard. Hey, man. I just want to say I really appreciate how much work you've put into where you are now, and I really hope the best for your future. I just, you seem like a really good person. I just want to, maybe we'll meet again, but I just want you to know that I really appreciate you.
Aw, his face kind of like lights up, and he's like, "Oh, I really appreciate that. Us guards, we kind of get a bad rap. Nobody ever like trusts us to do anything. We're just kind of here to sit and like, just not open gates or close gates. It's an underappreciated job. So I really appreciate you saying that. That means a lot to me. Like,
No problem.
Yeah, man.
Name, by the way. Let me catch your name so I know it for future reference.
Oh, my name? My name is... I have this. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. I'm some kind of... Sometimes I'm space-headed. So you're going to have to give me some...
Oh, you're fine. No problem at all. I know how it is.
Yeah, my name is Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I am Tom, the front gatesman.
Tom, that's so funny. I have a really good friend from, back home who his name's Tom, and it's just funny. Love that. That's really awesome.
That's awesome to hear. I'm glad that you and your village had some stuff going well, made some good friends there. But it's crazy to see, you get here being at a castle like this and being a part of the starting, group for the knights.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tom, I won't take up any more of your time. I know you got work to do, but I appreciate you. Maybe we'll see you around, Tom.
Maybe, yeah. You have a good one, okay?
You too.
Cool. And so we're gonna go ahead and jump back to Red. You're bringing back your test stuff. What do you tell Blanche?
Hey Blanche, I think there's some like feedback interference that's really messing up with it because the language setting seems to have glitched out again.
Okay. I think most of what, other than that, did it work at all, or was it not working at all, or did it,
But there's definitely, yeah, it definitely seemed to like start forming sort of outline and help me out with seeing in the dark, kind of.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I'll go ahead and just leave it with me. I'll go ahead and finish up tweaking it a little bit before the end of today, and you can come pick it up tomorrow. And if you're, here, we can work on another project or something, or tweak this one a little bit further to be a bit better and less crazy, or you can just pick this one up where it is.
Yeah. So you mentioned, I just want to kind of harp back to the highwaymen. Have they been like the only problem showing up, or has there been a lot of problems in the kingdom? Like the
So honestly, we don't really deal with most of it too much. Obviously, we don't tell our employees they're required to, but also neither do we tell them that they're not allowed to. They're allowed to do whatever they want as they go around, but usually we're mostly preoccupied with dealing with just Morgana directly. But there's quite a bit going around the lake itself. You could talk to Vivian specifically if you needed a filler on the area around the lake and who's harassing who. There's actually quite a few people that are around the lake itself. It's not just us. We actually don't honestly do that much on Earth other than stopping Morgana. We don't have time to be solving every single problem, and most of the towns themselves do a pretty good job hiring mercenaries and solving their own problems. So, but
And
yeah,
what
there's
is-
plenty going on around here.
what is like Morgana's like main, I guess, slight against the kingdom? I guess would be the best way to put it. Like when she got corrupted, what caused what event sort of happened after that?
I'll be completely honest. I'm not sure anybody could tell you that answer other than the person who created both Morgana and Merlin anyways.
Okay.
Short of you finding her, I mean, you guys are going to her actual laboratory, assuming you find the cave. But I'm not necessarily sure that you guys are going to be able to just find her. Nobody's seen her, well, honestly, ever. We just know that Morgana and Merlin were kind of here. They were given to different entities and spread out through that. Different companies were able to make kind of twists and turns off of that, and Morgana herself wasn't actually given to anybody, but instead was just discovered. We can't really put a hard point in time where we know, honestly. It's part of what makes her so scary.
Okay. All right. Well, I will. I don't know if I'll be around tomorrow. To be honest, I have a lot to discuss with my classmates. So
That's fair. It's
I
okay.
hope I am.
I've
but
got my
I doubt
robot
it.
friends. It's no big deal. But it was fun either way. You seem to really pick up
Yeah.
on stuff. I was glad to have you for the day.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what happened to my hands. If it's just nerves or what. It was not going well in that department.
It's okay. Sometimes we're nimble with brain, but not nimble with hand.
Yeah.
You have a good rest of your day, okay?
Yeah. You too. And I leave.
Cool, cool, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and call a break right now if you guys are good with, because
Yeah.
I would like to go get some water and stuff.
Definitely a good call.
So we'll take a quick 5-er.
Woo!
All right. Anybody back?
Yeah.
Hello.
It's 3 of us. Is Hunter back?
Hunter is here. Just to that she's probably got not a ton longer. She's got to drive tomorrow.
Oh, we were about. I was gonna say we can get pretty close to wrapping up for now.
Okay. Yeah, that works for us.
Perfect. We can actually just take this last little bit to go ahead and go over the stuff that to wrap up for today, like the things that you get at the end of a whole thing. Anyways, the different choices that you have. Talk about notes that you have for today. Just kind of go over the day as a whole. If that sounds good with you guys.
Works for me.
Cool.
Sounds
Yeah,
great.
sounds great.
Perfect. So first things first. You guys did got through the session, so now you get to go ahead and take any of those actions that I had last time. Did you guys write those down, or do you want me to relink them?
I wrote them down somewhere, but I don't remember where I wrote
Perfect.
them down.
I can get them again.
Right
Don't
here.
worry.
Switch the ranks of any 2 skills. Rewrite 1 stunt. Purchase 1 stunt. Rewrite any aspect except high concept.
So does that all sound good for you guys?
My stunt disappeared from last time.
Yeah, I hear that happened to everybody. I'm sorry about that. I'll make sure to get you guys a copy of the video itself, and make
Hey,
sure.
Dalton,
Yeah.
what is your lore? Or I'm sorry, not your lore. Your investigate.
4.
Oh, that's really high. Okay. I was like, man, none of us had good investigate. Maybe I should change one of my numbers, but you have really good investigate, so I'll just let you keep.
Yeah, he is a killer investigator.
Yeah, keep that, and we'll just
Almost
use.
like he's a reporter.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, nah.
Is there any other things? I just feel like there's been a couple times where we've all noticed, like, oh, no one has a number in that particular area.
Well,
I
shoot
think
was one of the big ones, but
you guys have
fix
shoot
that.
though.
Yeah, I switched to shoot now, so I'm good.
Because I know you guys have. Do you have? I think you have a report, right? That's
I had a rapport, but I switched it for my shoot. I thought about making my rapport a 2 instead of a 1. But...
Okay. I think you guys have notice. I think the only one you guys don't have is drive, but I'm not sure how many cards you're going to be getting in, especially with the specific themes we're in right now. That would probably be the biggest thing.
We could drive a dragon.
I mean, yeah, you could. You could definitely argue that. I guess part of the biggest thing is it's okay if you're like missing one specific one, as long as you have ways to argue and replace for, or yeah, say that it works a different way.
Okay, got it.
Like,
okay, I just want to make sure we were covered. But if everyone feels good about their numbers, then let's
Absolutely.
just keep them for now.
Right, I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah,
write
what's
really
the next highest crafts? Does anybody else have craft?
I have a 1.
I have 2.
I have a 3. So
Oh, you have a I didn't know you had such a good crafts. Holy crap. That's insane. But that's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. You just didn't happen to be there the one time I checked for crafts so far.
I know. I was a little bummed.
To be fair, you can always tell me in whenever you want to make the argument. I'm not exclusively here for just defining rules for you.
Oh, I was just expecting more of a drawing of the map type, so I figured I'd go that way.
Oh, I kind of feel that. You never know. Maybe tomorrow she'll have a bit of other stuff to work with you. Part of it was I think you guys didn't quite realize how big this space was yet, which is to a degree on purpose. What is that song from?
Yeah, if we have a way to get that stunt back from last time, I don't think I need to switch anything around. I don't think I did enough today. Well, I don't know.
To be fair, most of the non like challenging things, like when you're just doing like the actual smaller day-to-day things, it's less of like important roles. When you guys are exploring and discovering new spaces, you're much more likely to use roles that matter a lot more, and they're not just flavor. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
part of it's you guys have only gone. Like, obviously, there's the clear combat roles and the advantages to that, but there's that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let me grab these notes. Label that. Lore. Cool, you're good there. Keep that. Got it. Cool. I got my notes. I'll probably go back and write some more. So you guys taking notes, I do appreciate that too. That's hopefully helpful for you guys too. But
I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying it.
most excellent. Yeah. So if there's nothing else you guys need to do, is there anything you guys wanted to talk about of the event that have transposed today, or any feedback that you have, or are you guys
I didn't
good
know.
to
Yeah,
go?
I didn't because we agreed to like sort of meet. I didn't know if we were gonna have like an in-meet session kind of thing for the day.
Sure, if you guys want to, just wrap up your end of the
Wrap up
day
you
with
guys,
talking
yeah.
before you end up sleeping today, or whatever you're doing. Setting
Yeah,
up for
I
tomorrow.
just want to get clarification outside of the game real quick. So we promised Uther 4 days, but essentially he gave us a full day for free. Is that what I'm understanding?
No. So what happened was he kind of you guys didn't get to use that full day for like a different place, if that makes sense. It was more like you got to work with Pockets on this little side mission you guys are finding. So it's not like you guys have another bonus day on Uther or a bonus day on Blanche or a bonus day on Vivian.
But tomorrow we have to go back to Uther, is what I'm asking.
Yes, if you want to finish the last 2 days.
I thought he said, I'll write down your stuff for both days so you're good to go. And I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, your day and my day. 2
Oh,
days.
There you go.
I'm with it now.
It's all good.
That's why I was confused when you said that. I was like, wait, did he say that?
Yeah. So you guys can either finish up. It's up to you if you want to finish up in the next round or the next session. If you want to finish up kind of this side little quest you're working on, or if you want to be going to bed and then immediately starting the next thing and then working on the side quest more the next day, or whatever you want to do.
You guys should go back, do all 4 days, because if I'm not mistaken, that's a full smaller upgrade for all of us.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that we can get rid of.
Oh no, for
It
sure.
was like 4 free invokes we got, maybe?
Yeah.
Which
Mhm.
seems
Yeah,
fair.
Basically.
yeah, that's what it was.
And also, I would like to get this is back in the game, but I think that Pockets, I want to go back to Uther tomorrow and just try to kind of, I don't want to cross any lines, but I want to gently prod and see if I feel like we can trust him. So if we want to ask him for maybe a little information before we leave.
And I'm gonna try and have a chat with Vivian. It doesn't really seem like she needed me necessarily working right alongside her. So I'm not sure. I'm sure if I can talk her into continuing the map without me there, I can follow my side. I can follow my side mission, and Red can stay at Blanche's another day.
Did you guys? So okay, so everyone had their day. Did you like? I don't understand. You just walked along the wall. That's what you did today.
Basically, I went up there, stared at some rats. I'm not sure. Well, we found a pelt because I was gonna repair the wall. Because I thought they were just kind of sneaking under, but there's something funky going on with the wall out there, and I think somebody got smuggled in. It's taken a weird turn, and none of that was mentioned to me earlier, so I'm not sure who's hiding what currently.
Yeah, and then I want to look around because I assume we're like, where are we right now, just in terms of location?
You guys all would have met either in the courtyard or inside the castle itself. That would have been up to you guys where you wanted to meet up.
Perfect. I want to make sure there's like no prying ears as far as I can tell. With like a notice roll, I guess.
Have we noticed anyone sketchy at all? Has anyone gotten a bad vibe from like the king or from any of the people we've chatted with here at the castle?
Oh, everyone.
To be fair, Jared is a little bit
Paranoid?
He's paranoid, so he's gonna 100% believe everybody's got something sketchy going on with them.
On my notice.
Red, was there anyone higher, more sketch-tastic than normal than you see from everyone?
No, I mean the king.
I know
But
that's
that's just because I'm working on a theory that doesn't make any sense. Um, basically, the main issue, guys, just so it's just us here. Wait, is it just us here? Sorry.
You notice the normal cameras that are that Blanche was talking about, but from what you can
Okay.
tell, they really only pick up video anyways, and there's nothing suspicious about you as a group of students who just came from the school discussing
Okay.
with each other.
Okay, so
Can I
we're
just real
from
quick
like
be
another world, guys, and it's really difficult to ask the basic questions of what the heck's going on here and not seeming suspicious. So I
agreed.
don't know if we should reveal to someone that we are, just so we can get some answers, or what we need to do. Because I'm 97% sure that if Blanche thinks about it, I'm gonna look really weird today.
Possibly. I don't know. Uther seems like a good guy, and we can see how he responds to our talks tomorrow. But I don't. He seems very gung ho on like for the kingdom. He's kind of that mindset that he's doing everything for the kingdom. So I don't know that he would. If we told him, I don't know that we could trust him with it. So.
Oh, and the other thing is, I'm not sure it would have anything to do with this world. Because, I mean, we were attacked randomly in that first one, and it wasn't even supposed to be a room.
Yeah.
True. I don't know, dude. I just don't know.
Anyways, I think I have to keep an eye on that tomorrow. I'm just going to see if Vivian can continue writing that page without me there. And or if this counts as, me doing whatever she was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you looking for tomorrow?
Making, covering her backs, making sure everything's on the up and up.
So, I'm confused. What did you guys find?
Nothing. That's the issue.
Oh, didn't we have him look at the rat pelt?
Oh yeah. We need to have you look at the rat. Right?
I was wondering if you were ever gonna help him out at all.
Red.
We found this mysterious thing, and look at this rat pelt, but it's synthetic. Don't you think?
Synthetic.
Can you investigate it for
Yeah,
us?
Yeah, I'll look at it. Hang on.
Investigate it.
I got a 5.
You can definitely tell this is a synthetic rat pelt that looks like it almost fits an average person of about your, or to be honest, anybody's size who isn't Mac, or Uther for that matter.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like something that's meant to be worn and used more as a disguise. Like you can pretend.
Would I be able to tell if there's any sort of magic involved, just given my experience today?
Or smell it? Can even smell it and see if there's any smells?
You might just be barely paranoid enough to actually kind of understand weird things like magic in general. But you can tell it's not quite magic. It was definitely. It feels your gut tells you something. It was close to something magic. Like it may have been in a secret compartment somewhere that was hidden by magic. But other than that, your gut, assuming you believe your gut when it comes to magic, considering you haven't ever dealt with it before, your gut says no. It's not especially magic on its own.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to figure it out tomorrow.
I was gonna say, I don't need to stop by Vivian right now, right?
That's up to you.
No, I don't think so right now.
Does Vivian seem different? Because it's just really weird that she had you look along the wall when she's a scout, and we're supposed to be scouting the area, right?
I asked, and she said it was a lot of ground to cover. So
yeah, but
it seemed reasonable enough. Not, she doesn't seem like she's inherently hiding anything.
Okay, I'll believe you, I guess.
You could always come have a chat with her tomorrow if you want, and then stop by Blanche, or we could swap spots.
Well, that's what I need. 2 people that don't trust me, having me ask a bunch of questions.
Your words.
You're not exactly a talkative sort. That's all I'm saying. And I don't. Yeah, I guess I'll probably have to join you with Vivian tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Seems like a good place to go ahead and wrap on up then.
All right.
Perfect.
It was a
Yay.
good time.
Lovely.
Good job, guys.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you guys got some really, really good work done today.
Yeah.
Proud of y'all.
I'm proud of you. So I will go ahead and see you guys. Man, my thing keeps messing up. See you guys next week.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Night, everybody. Have fun.
Yep, good night. Hope
Good
you all have a good
night.
one.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up episode 4. I'm going to try and get the episode 3 cut and placed onto YouTube. That way, 2 and 3 will both be on there. And then I'm also going to try and get episode 4 so it's ready by next week, next Wednesday. I try to stagger them out so you get last week's episode on the VOD on YouTube the week of the same time that we're doing the other one itself. So, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'll go ahead and get the music on up so we can play us on out. But thanks. I appreciate it.